Anonymous.
What's going on, YouTube, social media world? It's your boy AnonymousBased, and I'm biggity back with a new reaction video. This time I'm here with something brand new from It's Complicated. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and give this video a like, share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section. So we are here with something brand new from It's Complicated. Shout out to you, brother. And the name of this video is called Obsolete. Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it, man. This one's gonna be interesting because of the title.
Why do so many women today say they don't need a man?
Well, we're not even 10 seconds into the video, and we already have the septum piercings making a not so triumphant return. Now, what do I always tell you guys about the septum piercings? Red flag, something wrong with them. But give her a little bit of grace because
damn, you're fine as hell.
So we gonna see what she gotta say.
Because men don't want to take care of women anymore, so we've become more independent.
Are men becoming obsolete?
What's obsolete mean?
Oh!
Outdated, no longer useful.
I mean, they're still useful for certain things.
What are men still useful for?
Like reaching the top shelf and stuff.
I feel like echelon of men is becoming obsolete. Not all of them.
Why would we ever entertain the thought that men could become obsolete?
Back to your first question, women wanting to be headstrong, they have this idea made up that because I don't need a man, that's what makes me headstrong.
What does that say about how men are defined?
I just feel like they need to do better.
I don't know, they should have jobs, be providers, and not sitting on their butts being bums.
Can women ever become obsolete?
No. Y'all need us.
What about the introduction of artificial wombs and sex bots?
Ooh. We ain't got no time for that question.
I hear they're like making babies with like bone marrow or something now.
Can women ever become obsolete?
No.
What about the introduction of artificial wombs and sex bots?
I don't know what that is.
I feel like there's a lot of like more feminist agenda kind of being pushed.
Damn, you're
where
fine as hell.
It's like this like process, or like this thought process of like, oh, you don't need a man, like I'm independent. But I'm a very big firm believer in that like feminine and masculine energy exists. And as a heterosexual woman, I feel like I need like a man's man for a lot of different reasons to be put into my feminine era.
Does the fact that women no longer need men mean that the main reason women were with men was because they had to be?
I guess, yeah.
Wouldn't that prove that men were often seen as a utility to be used?
I guess.
Gotcha, bitch.
How is that different than men objectifying women?
It's not just a different type of objectification.
Oh man,
If women were
goddamn.
historically with men because they chose to, wouldn't that prove that feminism taught women to hate men?
Yes.
It really did. But
Gotcha,
then there was
bitch.
a time in our lives when men always just thought they were superior to women as well.
Does a woman have to rely on a man?
Cut that out, you
in
little
order to treat
bastard.
him right?
No, not at all.
I think there's like a strange line where that, yes, I agree with that.
I think there was a point in time where women needed men because, I mean, a lot of women, like, back in the day were mothers. They were, like, stay-at-home mothers. They took care of the house.
Okay.
Whereas, like, now in today's society, it's like you kind of both have to work because of, like, how wages are and how, like, the cost of living.
You're sending out rewards and payouts, but it's a struggle to do
Okay,
it.
she making some
Multiple
sense right
vendors,
now.
multiple countries, questions from recipients.
Cost of living is.
How is that different than men objectifying women?
Because they put themselves in that position. And women don't ask to be objectified. It's something that we deal with every day that we do not ask for.
If women were historically with men because they chose to, wouldn't that prove that feminism taught women to hate men?
It depends on how you're thinking about it.
Does a woman have to rely on a man in order to treat him right?
No.
Why is there a growing market for sex bots?
I don't even know what a sex bot is.
A sex bot, like an artificial AI girlfriend, like artificial intelligence girlfriend.
Because people are too complicated.
I think because there's a lot of men out there who are tired of like doing the bare minimum for women, so they feel like it would almost be easier to just buy a sex bot and not have to deal with any of like the bullshit that kind of comes with women.
Because they rather be on the video game, or they rather be in like a VR with a virtual girl. You rather be on your video game while you got a live woman sitting next to you.
See, it's interesting how they can sit here and say this, right? Because men will get on the internet and go talk all day about what they want and what they look for. They just want to chill. They want some food. They want some peace and quiet. We say it all the time. But then when we want to just have a simple life, hey, we did our work. We having a good time. We want to chill. We want to relax. We want to decompress. They don't understand that for some odd reason. Men are very, very simple. Women are very, very complicated. So the fact that men can go above and beyond and let them know how simple we are and they still don't get it, I don't know what to say, man.
Stupid.
Stop indulging in the internet and find somebody, they'd get laid.
Why are there virtually no male sex bots?
Because women can pretty much get any guy they want on the street.
You just said, why do women need men? So why would we make any mailbox? Oh, wait, we might need them to like build our houses and stuff like that.
Stupid.
Why are men more likely to buy an entire sex doll while women are more likely to buy just a dildo?
Well, that's because as guys, I guess we want the whole experience instead of just a portion.
How would the evolution of sex bots affect dating?
I feel like men wouldn't probably like try to date women as much.
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like the more real they come, then the idea of women becoming obsolete to men would be more prevalent.
Why are the majority of sex toys made for women?
Because some men just can't do it, and they don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I can agree with that.
So many dildos.
I can agree with that.
Can vibrators make men obsolete?
I don't think so.
Can vibrators make men obsolete?
They could give them a run for their money.
I don't care if you would do and you think you're packing. A woman don't need you, bro. Women got shit to bust, bro. They got shit that's bigger than yours and it'll turn around.
Yeah, that's
and got
true.
beads and shit in it and it'll tickle their butt at the same time. We can't do all that.
Can't do all that.
So they can get cocky even back then. Like remember back in the day,
That's
the
true.
vibrators in the 70s, 60s was just a little thing and it just did this. Now they got like 10
That's
flavors
true.
and functions. One thing will spin around and they got something to
He's
throw
speaking
water
facts.
at you every 5 seconds. We can't do all that.
If your boyfriend had an AI girlfriend, would that be considered cheating or
Yes.
masturbation?
No, that would be cheating 100%.
Why?
Because it's like another bitch.
But it's a robot. It's not a real person.
Yeah, but it's like he's emotionally connecting with a robot.
That would be masturbation.
So it actually has to be a real person.
Yeah, I think it would. For me, it would have to be a real person to be considered cheating.
What's the difference between him using a sex doll and you using a vibrator?
It's different. If it's like a whole doll, like that's like if it's like trying to embody a person, like an entity, that's totally different. Like if you have like a vibrating cock ring or something, I wouldn't care. But like a AI girlfriend is crossing the line.
Stop the cap. If you could engineer the perfect boyfriend, would you and why?
Yes, because it's so hard to date in this world.
It's funny how he's asking her that, but then realistically speaking, if they had the perfect guy and all the boxes got checked off, they would still find some reason for it to not be enough and they would still leave. So with all due respect, lady, stop the cap.
World.
Do you think we might see the end of organic relationships within our lifetime?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
I think everyone just cheats nowadays. It's so easy for everyone to cheat.
If you could engineer the perfect boyfriend, would you and why?
No, and because it comes with too many other complications that I already have to deal with.
Do you think we might see the end of organic relationships within our lifetime?
It's a possibility.
If you had to choose, would you rather die a virgin or live a life of meaningless sex with no intimacy?
I think I would rather live a life of meaningless sex with no intimacy.
I would definitely die a virgin.
Do you require an emotional connection in order to have sex?
Yes.
I do require an emotional connection to have sex.
If women typically require feelings in order to have sex, why do the majority of sex workers happen to be women?
Because they're just hoes. You can be a hoe and not have feelings. It's possible.
think because there's a difference between sex workers and like emotional connection, because it's when you're a sex worker, it's more of a job and it's more seen as like, you know, like going to a regular job would be, whereas it's not really seen as like sex and like intimate connection.
If women are more likely to require intimacy, why aren't they the ones making more effort to save organic relationships?
I feel like women are just becoming fed up with men.
Y'all already, when I say y'all, the world already asks too much of us.
What is a surrogate?
Somebody that has a baby for somebody else?
I read that scientists
How do you know what that
an
is?
artificial womb to grow babies. If you had the option to become a mother without ever having to physically carry the child or go through the pain of childbirth, would you choose to do so?
Hell yeah.
Why?
Because childbirth was not fun. I tore from my cooch to my butt. I am not doing that again.
If women and men were reduced to egg and sperm donors, would that make women no longer special or the so-called creators of life?
I feel like it would definitely change things up a little bit.
Why is society engineering men and women out of relationships?
I think it's like the men's fault, but like the social media definitely has a big part like in it.
Haven't we already engineered men out of relationships with sperm banks and government handouts?
Yep.
Kind of, maybe. In a way, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the time. I mean, a lot of lesbians. I mean, they'll literally just go to a sperm bank just so they can have a donor, and instead of trying to find somebody out there like they used to back in the day.
What's the incentive for men to continue holding up society when they're being engineered out of relationships?
I don't know how to answer that.
Man, goddamn! That's why most guys have a lower quality of life. They don't choose to be more anymore. A lot of them just want to just go home, get drunk, and party.
What are your thoughts on using DNA to engineer a designer baby?
I mean, it sounds like something I'll never be able to afford to do, but like if you could create a child that had no birth defects or delays and you could give your child the best start, why wouldn't you?
Isn't that the reason why women choose high-value men with the best genes?
I don't know. I have 2 different baby dads. I'm not with either of them.
Are you familiar with the Terminator movies? And if so, can you explain the premise?
I can't.
Yeah, the Terminator has to travel back in time, stop a timeline of events that creates the destruction of the world.
Is there a correlation between the plot of the Terminator movies and what's happening with women's empowerment?
No, not really. I don't think so. I think that has to do a lot more with, I guess, the doctors just kind of getting out of hand, creating more artificial intelligence versus just creating lab-born babies.
Aren't they both about nurturing something until it evolves itself against you and determines you obsolete?
Actually, yeah, that is correct.
Yes, I could see that, yes.
Aren't they both about nurturing something until it evolves itself against you and determines you obsolete?
Yes, yeah.
Didn't both creations enslave their masters?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Didn't both creations enslave their masters?
Yep, but I mean, most of us guys are enslaved already, so I mean, that's kind of normal.
All right. Okay, man. Shout out to It's Complicated for coming through with the fire video called Obsolete. Okay, so first impressions of me watching this one, this one was definitely action-packed, to say the least. I'm talking about rapid fire. And the thing with this is that this video was a lot shorter than his normal videos. This was just a few seconds shy of 10.5 minutes. I'm used to his videos being a little bit longer, but for the sake of this one, there was so much happening at one time that it was kind of difficult for me to keep up, but I was still able to keep up. Man, the logic with this one, the logic and the questioning with this one was definitely great because you only had like 2 guys on here. So the majority of the interviewers or the interviewees were women. So I like this one because you get to hear more of a woman's perspective in terms of like the questioning and the logic that he was presenting forth. And for the most part, a lot of the answers were good. I mean, there was a whole lot of capping going on.
Stop the cap.
But for the most part, the overwhelming majority of the information in here was based in logic and reasoning. And I ended up finding myself agreeing with quite a bit of what the women were saying. Because, I mean, hey, it's true. It's true. There's certain things that men bring that can somewhat be outsourced. But then on the women's side, there's a lot that they bring we can easily outsource. So in terms of like obsolescence, I mean, this is a really good one, because who knows what the next 50 to 100 years is going to bring in terms of what both parties bring to a relationship, in terms of like families and providing and households and finances and all that. I mean, who's to say? I know I ain't going to be around in the next maybe 100 years or so, but hey, I'm just doing what I got to do to make it through each day and try to build up something so I can have something set up for my future generations. But overall, great video, great line of questioning, great feedback, great interviews, and you always have a place on this channel, sir. So one shout out to you, man. Shout out to It's Complicated, brother. And with that being said, that's pretty much my reaction, man. So if you like the video, go ahead and give this video a like, share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section, man. It's your boy AnonymousBased. Peace.